It's ScrawlrBox time! Yep, I grabbed another box with a coupon code from my loyalty points stash. They teased watercolors, but I was too late for the month that the watercolors were in, and I didn't realize it before the order was placed, so here we are. Let's see what's in it. Hello, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Apologies for how late this will be going up. Life continues to not give me a break, so I'm actually filming this Friday morning, and there's still voiceover to record, video to edit, exporting time. Yeah, you'll also likely hear other sounds in the background at some point. Kiddos awake and playing, road construction is going on. Update for those who've paid attention to me talking about registering kiddo for school. The French immersion program doesn't have a bus budget, so French immersion students aren't entitled to a seat on the buses. I'll probably expand on why this is such a disappointment as a rambling topic in next week or so, but in short, we have to send kiddo to English kindergarten and hope she'll choose late entry French immersion only because she can't get a bus to French kindergarten. There is currently a bus to that school that stops at our house, but it's being phased out. It's from old zoning rules that were changed in 2017, and only grandfathered students who were already registered before then are allowed to board. I'm pissed. Anyway, back to the video. I'll give you a heads up now that you're not going to see a finished piece in this video. The prompt and supply combination didn't inspire. I hated what I sketched, tried to go with it anyway, got interrupted by kiddo far too many times, and gave up. I'll explain more about what I didn't like as I get to those things in the supply discussion. As usual, I'll read the menu card and comment on the individual supplies, and then I'll have comments for the whole thing as a set and what I attempted to draw at the end. I'll read off the RRP prices in Great British Pounds from the card here in the voiceover, but I'll have US dollars and Canadian dollars converted prices in the description box. I'll also have my usual real-world price research and cost versus savings calculations down there as well, so you can check it out and see whether or not this box would have been worth it for you. If you are interested in trying out ScrawlrBox, remember I have a referral code in the description that'll get both of us £3 worth of points when you place your first order. Ready? Okay, menu time. This is the May 2021 box, which is ScrawlrBox number 69, and the Scrawler Challenge prompt is Secret Garden. The featured artist this month is art by Safana, and their stuff is absolutely gorgeous, so go check it out. The first item on the menu card is Unipasca colored pencils. That's right, Posca is a brand that we are all familiar with. And after several years of research, colored pencils have now been added to their collection. These colored pencils are made from a unique combination of wax and oil to achieve a strong but soft lead that can be used to produce a highly concentrated, smooth, bright color with a matte finish, and are suitable for use on a range of surfaces. Posca colored pencils offer a richly pigmented color palette, great for sketching, layering, and smooth gradient effects. True to the Posca spirit, they can be used on different surfaces such as paper, card, wood, metal, leather, glass, plastic, canvas, and organic materials such as stone. Posca coloring pencils can be used to complement works in watercolor, acrylic, or Posca marker to produce mixed media artworks. RRP is £2.50 each, which totals £15 for the 6 and technically covers the subscription price of the box. I was really intrigued by these pencils because duh, Posca, but honestly I don't think I like them. The coating on the barrels is apparently quite delicate. See if you can spot the point where I gouge some of it off the barrel and make a dent in the wood casing with my very short fingernails as I peel off the barcode sticker. They look like gold fiber pencils, but they don't feel like them. You can really tell these have been formulated to mark and stick to non-traditional surfaces because these lay down really thick and heavy. It doesn't seem to matter if you use good pencil techniques or not, it's gonna look exactly the same when you're done. It's thick, it's textured, it's almost too easy to burnish the paper, and unless you're going to add a blending agent like the odorless mineral spirits I demonstrated, or perhaps powdered blender on sanded paper, you're not gonna get these to fill in the grain of the paper. If you want that definitely pencil look, or if you want to use these on non-traditional substrates, then perfect. If you want to do fine art paintings in colored pencil on high quality paper, I wouldn't reach for these. I also really don't like the selected color palette for Secret Garden. There are no realistic colors for stems and foliage, and the selected colors are so bold, it would be difficult to do anything soft and delicate with these colors. I also really don't like that the color name and number are only on the removable barcode sticker, and that those stickers have been placed on the pre-sharpened end, where they're going to end up gumming up a sharpener really soon if you don't remove them. As for blending, these are average, and as well as any other wax color core pencil with a good percentage of pigment. I'm reminded of the double-ended chameleon colored pencils we got back in 2018, and that's where the penny drops. They're both gimmicky colored pencils from companies known for very niche specific markers, not pencils. Moving on, next up is the Pearl Burnish Liquid White. This liquid pencil is made by none other than our featured artist herself, Safana. It is perfect for adding highlighting and layering effects to your work. Unlike paint, colored pencils cannot always be easily layered over and over, with lighter colors often not holding enough pigment when used as a top layer. With this liquid pencil, you can intensify or create white areas without having to sacrifice any pigmentation. And what's more, once this white pencil is dry, you can even layer more colored pencil on top. RRP is £3.60 for this 1 ounce or 3 milliliter bottle. This is basically just archival correction fluid. You can go over it once it's properly dried, but it takes a long time to dry. You'll see me try to play with it again at the end when I give up, and I've paused to wait. It's not as fast as the video makes it look. It goes down semi-opaque, it's not like school supply whiteout, and I've noticed it does pick up pigment from the Posca pencils. I'm not sure if that would be a problem on top of any pencils, or if it's just the formula of these ones. It works nicely with the fine liner and doesn't clog up the nib like traditional correction fluid or gel ink would. Next is the Derwent Line Maker. This Derwent Line Maker is a free-flowing liner that will always produce the precision and consistent line work that you are looking for. A great tool that will help you create beautiful opaque lines. It contains a permanent, fast-drying pigment ink, making it perfect for any mixed media project. RRP is £2.80 each, and this is not the first time ScrawlrBox has sent out this type of fine liner. I already have the 0.1, and now I have a 0.5. The photo of the pen on the menu card says 0.3, so it looks like the sizes sent out were randomized. That probably means they actually acquired the 0.1 to 0.8 packs and split them up. Good fine liners, good brand, pretty standard artist pen, happy to have it, but not much in particular to say. We also got a Zahn size 2 round brush. Brushes are the magic wand we use to weave color across a canvas. This pony hair brush is a size 2 brush with a fine tip that will produce controlled detailing in your work and can be used with all kinds of water-based mediums. Use it with your pearl varnish for adding highlights and layering to your artwork. RRP is £1.29. ScrawlrBox, please hire me as your proofreader. The punctuation on this card is particularly bad this month, and the original blurb I just read repeated some words. Use it with. Come on guys, 69 boxes, you're experienced, you need a proofreader. I'll do it in exchange for free boxes. I didn't read this card before using the brush, so I didn't know it was horsehair. That's cool, I love horses. I could tell it was actual hair and not something synthetic, but horsehair is quite thick and coarse, so when you trim and shape it into such a tiny brush like this, it looks like a mess of cheap synthetic hairs. I'm not talking cheap imitation hair or something like that, I mean the monstrosities that come in Crayola craft kits. The overlength toothbrush bristles glued to the end of a plastic stick. This pony hair is probably great in larger brushes, and it's probably really good with thicker paints, but in such a small brush that claims to be for details with a very watery medium, this was not a good choice. These fibers are pointing everywhere because the medium isn't thick enough to bind them together, so there's nothing precise about applying it to the paper. But anyway, in case anybody wants to get up in arms about the real animal hair, no horses are ever harmed when making horsehair brushes. This would be the mane and tail hair that's going to be trimmed anyway. Nothing has been killed or skinned, unlike other fur products or certain other types of animal hair brushes. The paper in this month's box is the Goldline A5 Cartridge Pad 120 GSM. This Goldline paper has a fantastic smooth surface texture to enable you to produce your best work. The paper is acid-free and is perfect pairing for colored pencils, charcoal, and other sketching media. And with 16 sheets of paper, you will have plenty for all your testing, sketching, and final projects. RRP is £3.25. Another Clairefontaine paper, once again, not pastel matte. Please guys, I'm begging, I want to try pastel matte, and you guys seem to be exclusive with Clairefontaine now. I'm convinced they make all the ScrawlrBox branded papers. The pad covers look exactly the same as the Goldline stuff, and the specs on everything branded ScrawlrBox matches perfectly to something offered by Clairefontaine. Anyway, paper, yes, good. Cartridge paper is a safe choice, and 120 GSM is a decent weight for mixed media, but I don't know many colored pencil artists who favor it. You're going to have a hard time getting pigment into the tooth of this paper. It feels like the paper you're going to find in any decent mixed media or heavy drawing paper sketchbook or pad. It probably is great for charcoal, as mentioned. Not sure how much use I'll get out of it myself, but it's a great general option for people who aren't really familiar with colored pencils or using them in mixed media projects. Final thoughts? Well, I hate everything today, so take it with a grain of salt when I say I'm disappointed. But these pencils feel more like a gimmicky cash grab from a wildly popular company than something I would genuinely want to use as a colored pencil artist. The liquid pencil was a great addition, and I suspect the pigment lifting is specific to these pencils, but I wish it would dry faster. The fine liner is great, the paper is a good choice, hate the brush. Secret Garden is an interesting prompt, but the ideas it brought to mind were way more intricate than I had the motivation to execute today, and frankly, these colors suck for that prompt. Upon closer inspection of the photos in this month's zine, it looks like the featured artist is using Prismacolor pencils, and she's working on much larger paper. These gorgeous, magical flowers she's drawing are bigger than her own hands, which is not something you're really going to be able to do on A5 paper. I know there are size limitations in a subscription box, but this is one of those times when, in order to attempt the featured art with the provided supplies, you'd need to work bigger than the provided paper, and a lot of less experienced artists are going to doubt their own skills because they haven't realized that. My attempted illustration that I gave up on was going to be flower scenes within the wings of a butterfly, but I wasn't committed to making them look nice, and I hated how it was turning out. This would be an interesting box to recreate No Box Art Box style with better pencils on a day when I'm not so impatient. C'est la vie, right? Anyway, I know I teased Colors of the Month in Tuesday's video, and this is not that. I'll do that next week, probably Friday, because I do want to get a book video in next Tuesday. We'll see. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!